Their conversation is about what's possible and what it could mean for St. John.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Burton, for joining us. Most people in St. John would know St. John Energy as their electricity provider. What they may not know is that the legislation governing St. John Energy and how we operate hasn't changed since 1922. And that right now, it's holding us back. When you became mayor of Oakville in 2006, the local utility, as I understand it, had about 150 employees. And today, the utility that has been built on that foundation, or the enterprise that's been built on that foundation, employs nearly 3,000 people. So I'd really love to start at the beginning. How did all that happen?
I thought it would be a virtue to develop non-tax revenues. All that has happened is that the town of Oakville, the city that calls itself a town and acts like a village, has a business corporation that has become a very, very exciting small imitator of EPCOR.
For people here in St. John and in New Brunswick who aren't overly familiar with Oakville Enterprises, can you maybe go into a little bit more detail and give us a sense of what it has become?
Every city I know of created a holding company to hold the utility company. We had a structure that lent itself to the holding company holding other companies, and in fact becoming Oakville Enterprises. So all we did was rename Oakville Hydro Corp, the holding company, into Oakville Enterprises. And Oakville Enterprises now owns interests in 24 companies across Canada. And in Oakville, our dividend, when we started this, that was paid from the utility, from the Oakville Hydroelectricity Distribution, Inc., was only a few $100,000, and it wasn't even regular. And now it's a regular $12.5 million, and soon it'll be rising to $20 million because of the success of enterprises. And we're a patch on what EPCOR has become. We've only been doing this for, depends on how you count, but maybe 10 years. And Edmonton's been doing it for, I think, 27 years. So they declare a dividend to the city of Edmonton every year. Every year it goes up. They have never missed a dividend. And it started out at $800,000. And the last one I remember last year was close to $200 million.
So Oakville Enterprises didn't just grow in every direction. There was a logic to it. I'm really curious, like, how did you decide what made sense to pursue and what made sense to pursue maybe even first?
Oakville Hydro Electricity Distribution, Inc. has always had a top of the game attitude. So we had automation early. We have a huge emphasis on reliability. I think we have the best record in Ontario year to year on the fewest interruptions and the shortest interruptions. So we were early and enthusiastic adopters of technology, and so we had a really good reputation with all of our fellow utilities and businesses in general. We decided that we would expand our enterprises in our area of expertise, in our area of high reputation. So that led us to energy services, if you will. It also led us to generation. So we have solar farms and we have run-of-the-river hydro.
Can you maybe frame in a little bit more detail, like what has all of this actually meant for the community of Oakville?
Our focus at the city level is on livability, and a lot of people understand livability as, do you have enough parks? Do you have enough playing fields? Mm-hmm. Do you have enough arenas? Do you have enough community centers? All of these things cost money, and tax-adverse people would rather have somebody else pay for it than themselves. So the basic business model of enterprises is to create a steady, reliable, ongoing dividend that would then support the debentures necessary to build those things and keep the cost of building those things off of our property tax.
What does the right structure actually unlock for a utility that's already doing innovative things?
Well, it's all, in my mind, it's all just what is the reputation that you come to market with? And as a recognized leader in innovation, you'll come to market, if you go down this path, with an easier way to open doors and a presumption in your favor around quality and being worth being partners with.
So when you look back and reflect on the journey that you've been on over, quite a number of years now, like what one or two things do you actually think made this work for Oakville? And do you think it can be replicated?
I think the thing that made it work was we had a base of trust, and we'd earned that base ever since 1999 when we took over the public utility. There was this constant, steady improvement of service, this constant dedication to quality, to automation, to innovation. But I also think that my reputation as an entrepreneur and as a successful businessman assisted people to trust that we were on to something. In Oakville, there are areas of business that our population might be squeamish about being involved in. And for example, Enterprises has never considered getting involved in power generation involving coal. Edmonton, EPCOR, they have different resources in Alberta. They've never shrunk from coal or oil, but we have a little bit of a goody two-shoes mindset here. I think the ultimate thing, though, for St. John to consider is you have to decide who you are and what you want to do and how happy you are to pay taxes. And I imagine that's possible that there are people on the planet who would rather only pay taxes for the stuff they want for their city. And there's probably people who would be happy to earn money outside of the city and use that money to enrich the city and improve your livability.
Well, Mayor Burton, thank you. What you've built in Oakville shows what becomes possible when the community decides to think bigger about what its utility can do. I believe the people of St. John deserve that same opportunity. Again, I believe that we built something worth building on. And with the right tools, there is no limit to what St. John Energy can do for the city, this province, and its future. And that future starts with a decision. And we believe it's time to make it.
All right. Well, thank you again, Mayor Rob Burton. Very enlightening. Appreciate your time with us today.
All the best.
Okay, take care.